Isuzu has just thrown me the keys to the 2024 D-Max and MU-X to join them in the Adventure Club in the Flinders Ranges. Whether you're a skillful four-wheel driver or perhaps wanting to upskill and learn four-wheel driving, over the next 4 days I'm going to take you on a journey with me that's going to make you want to get in your 4x4 and hit the road. These events are open to D-Max and MU-X customers participating in the Adventure Club. Isuzu first created the Adventure Club in 2015 and has since welcomed over 5,000 participants across the country and taught them vital four-wheel driving skills. If you own an Isuzu and you haven't heard of the Adventure Club, this is your opportunity to get involved in pint-sized one-day training sessions run by professional trainers that give you the skills for off-roading and also on-roading, so things like towing. I've had the opportunity to do probably about 7 Adventure Club training sessions now, and once a year Isuzu run these multi-day trips like we're on today here in the Flinders Ranges. On this trip, we are lucky enough to test drive the 2024 Isuzu D-Max and the brand new 1.9 litre MU-X, both off-road and off-grid in the Flinders Ranges. On multi-day trips like this one, Isuzu will have around 10 customer vehicles, with each owner having the option to bring a +1 along for the journey. On this particular trip, we'll visit the Murnamora Station's Wowie track, four-wheel drive on sand dunes, as well as participate in guided experiences across the Flinders Ranges. This is the facelifted 2024 Isuzu D-Max, which features updated styling as well as new features inside, including a new digital instrument cluster and updated infotainment. Everything you know and love about the Isuzu D-Max is still there, including its 3.5 tonne towing capacity, the option of a 1.9 litre or 3 litre turbo diesel engine, as well as 6 years warranty. If you're like me and the MU-X is more your style, Isuzu has just launched the popular 7-seat model with a 1.9 litre engine. Isuzu claims the 1.9 litre is going to be more fuel efficient than the 3 litre models, and customers who do opt for the 1.9 litre engine will save around $2,000 at purchase. This morning, our first stop is at Paulette's Winery, which is located in the Polish Hill River, about 1 hour and 42 minutes north of Adelaide. The trip for 2 adults usually costs around $2,000 and will include accommodation, all your meals including breakfast, lunch and dinner, snacks, qualified 4x4 trainers and all your permits required. Drivers will, however, have to budget for fuel costs, and some have to opt for additional 4x4 gear like recovery equipment. However, it's not necessary, as the Adventure Club team carry all of this for everyone on the trip to use. If that, however, is too far out of your price range, the Adventure Club has one-day training sessions held frequently across the year, which cost around $300 and include breakfast and lunch, as well as training by a 4x4 qualified professional. These events can cater for up to 12 vehicles per day and usually run on either a Friday, Saturday or Sunday across Australia. Owners who participate in these multi-day events, like this one in the Flinders Ranges, will have to make their own way to and from the event. However, most drivers take advantage of the opportunity and turn the trip into a week or 2-week-long holiday. After a quick bite to eat and meeting everyone, it's time for an afternoon briefing on the basics of four-wheel driving and off-roading, and understand how the Isuzu models work. This is a great opportunity for customers to learn more about their vehicles and how they work off-road and ask questions in a safe environment. So we've just left the classroom and we've got a 30-minute drive from Hawker, which is where we stopped for lunch, and we're going to be going through some off-road terrain as well as a highway called the Outback Highway, which definitely is so far living up to its name. Having the Adventure Club is so important. It allows drivers who are a bit hesitant to joining the growing 4x4 trend to have a safe place to dip their toe in the water, but allow seasoned drivers to take advantage of the most picturesque places around Australia with a crew of like-minded people. With an increase in 4x4 sales, with the MU-X and D-Max currently in the top-selling 4x4s in Australia, it's no wonder their capability and achievable price point when compared to other off-roaders. Although Isuzu claims a majority of their customers never take their vehicle off-road, the Adventure Club gives them a chance to take off the training wheels and get the full potential out of their 4x4. The 2024 4x4 range by Isuzu now comes standard with rough terrain mode. So if you're familiar with the MU-X, you definitely would be familiar with the capabilities of rough terrain mode. Now we're in the D-Max X terrain, and now it does feature the rough terrain mode for 2024 models, and we're going to show you a little bit later just how well that works. But basically, when you get into tricky situations, you can either engage your diff lock or rough terrain mode just to give you that little bit of traction and to get you out pretty easy. Now there's a 4x4 dial just down here which will help you go from 2 high to 4 high as well as 4 low. Customers who are looking to take their 4x4 off the road, the 2024 D-Max has a ground clearance of 240 mils, while the MU-X has a ground clearance of 235 mils. Now I've seen some pretty cool rigs joining us here at the iVenture Club in the Flinders Ranges, but one of the most important rigs is this car behind me, the iVenture Club lead car. And to go through it with me, I've got lead trainer Dave Wilson. Dave, tell me firstly a little bit about this car. Is it stock?
Yeah, well, it is stock standard because our ethos at iVenture Club is to encourage people with cars pretty much off the showroom floor to come and join us on a program, get some skills up, and then maybe fathom out from there what they need to do with the vehicle. So if they're going to a location somewhere in the country that might be a little specific, it might require a change in tyres or a change in suspension or some other asset that's added to the vehicle, they can make their own mind up on that in time. But straight out of the showroom floor is how we supply them.
What are some luxury items on the iVenture Club car that potentially first-time four-wheel drivers won't need?
Yeah, this one is leaning very heavily on the genuine accessories line. So we've got the bull bar, the steel bull bar out the front there to offer up some animal stripe protection. We've got an LED light bar to give us a bit more illumination of the night time, and we put that to good use last night on our way back. We've got side rails to provide a bit of scrub protection as we're going out in the bundies, out in the back blocks, to try and save the bodywork from getting some bush pinstriping. Side steps, which also makes it very easy to step into the car, offers up a bit of door seal protection when we're going into rocky environments like we have been over the last little while. And that's really about it, apart from the UHF radio and an awning.
What are some tips to first-time or perhaps professional four-wheel drivers coming to the Flinders Ranges?
The UHF radio, I suppose you could argue, might be a luxury, but in our business, we've got a dozen vehicles in our charge and we need to remain in communication with them. So as you've seen, it's an essential, not only for the important stuff, but also the banter, the dad jokes.
The dad jokes.
Look, if I had my way, I'd certainly be recommending a tyre change. Now, the tyres that are presented on the vehicle are absolutely fine for the 90% of people who perhaps spend more of their time around town. So they're a low friction tyre, good fuel efficient tyre, but in some environments they're exposed to some dangers. So the rocks that we've been scrambling over the last couple of days are the sorts of things that might injure a tyre. So I'd always made my first call a new set of light truck all-terrain rubber. Just gives me a bit more insurance, so that'd be a high priority for me.
Yeah, awesome. And if there is someone who's coming to the Flinders Ranges for the first time, what would be a couple of top tips, first time or even professional?
Well, I suppose what we should be mindful of is that you might be coming into this district either first thing in the morning or last thing at the end of the day, and that's when the risk of animal strike is very real. And we've seen only too often on this trip heaps of kangaroos around and lots of emus too. So there's a risk of animal strike. So you want to be very, very wary when you're making way up here at those dusk and dawn times of the day, that you keep your speeds down and keep a good close eye out for that risk. Another really important one for me that a lot of folk don't realise is the importance of using high range four-wheel drive on the dirt roads. So running as we do part-time four-wheel drives, where all the energy goes out through the back wheels ordinarily when you're running on a bitumen road, we've got a four-wheel drive facility. Why don't we use it for the high-speed dirt roads? So where we're using access roads to get out to a really unique location, rather than doing it in two-wheel drive and increasing the risk of losing control of the vehicle, whacking it in the four-wheel drive, and it mitigates most of the chances of coming unstuck. So I think that one is hugely important from a safety perspective. We've got one of the world's best four-wheel drive destinations right here, right now, and there's lots of trails that go off in different directions. And if you're a bit of a nervous Nelly and you don't want to inquire and push the window, you'll miss some great opportunities. There's trails right through this district, both private and public trails, that are just the bestest things on the planet. And that means when the track goes skyward, get that sucker in the low range and then the world's your oyster. You can do anything.
Yeah, I think one thing that I definitely learned is that these cars are so capable. I think obviously with your guidance, I'm not so much professional just yet, but we've been able to pretty much navigate everything that we've been through. I mean, when we got stuck, it was a little bit of driver error maybe, but we ended up getting out of there.
And you know, there's another good point to remember. If you do have an embarrassing moment and get yourself stuck, don't throw your hands up in despair and think, oh, it's all over. Just think it calmly through, just chill out, work out a strategy to retrieve the vehicle. Might be something as simple as just getting the shovel out and removing a couple of rocks, or if you're in a loose scree environment, something that's a bit sandy, maybe getting the shovel out and digging a bit deeper, using a recovery board like a Max Track or something like that to get you out. But just take your time about it, don't rush it.
Well, there you have it. We have had an amazing 3 days here in South Australia with Isuzu and the iVenture Club crew, and we have just packed our luggage in the tray and we're about to make the 5-hour trip down to Adelaide. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit that bell icon to be in the know for Drive's next video. If this trip has inspired you to buy a 4x4 and hit the road, Drive can help those dreams come true. So all you have to do is head to Drive.com.au/marketplace and you can browse a whole inventory of new, used and demonstrator cars, including Isuzu's. If you have bought a car from Drive, definitely let me know in the comments what was your experience and what car did you buy. Until then, I'll see you next time.